Welcome to BR Handoff, presented by Verizon. I'm Daiyan Henley, I'm your host, and week to week we have a host passing it off. This time it's my turn to go ahead and break down some film, talk stats, talk personnel. Let's get into it. Each week, a player asks the next host a question. This week, Nick Bowden had one for me. Let's see what it was.
Last week, Pastor Tan asked me my question, and now this week, my question goes out to you. Would you rather have 30-degree weather and sunny or 80-degree weather and rainy? I know you're a South Cali guy. I just want to make sure that you got your mind in the right spot. Hopefully you're picking the right answer, but we'll know next week.
Man. First of all, either one is pretty tricky to answer. But I'm going to have to go with that 80 with the rain right there. I think I'm going to stay right in that 80 with the rain. Just due to the fact, like he said, I'm SoCal, born and raised, and I know how brisk it can get in that 30-degree weather. It could be a wind chill. It could be all types of stuff going on. So I'm going to take the rain, Any weather's football weather, but with that rain, there's something cinematic about that. You get the camera out there. You get some good rain shots. I'm just saying, that's good football weather for me. Coming straight off the bye week, feeling good, feeling healthy. It was a good week to have coming off a loss. Something that is not only is a shell shock, but it's just more about keeping the team chemistry alive and making sure that we take this bye week seriously. And so for us right now, we're sitting 7-4, second in our conference, right beneath the Broncos, and we're prepared. That's what it comes down to is staying prepared, staying focused, and staying healthy. So for us, we needed this bye week. Usually we get bye weeks early in the season, but this year, blessed enough to have it right about now, it keeps us prepared for rolling into the playoffs. And something that our coach talked about this week or today was every game moving forward is a playoff game. And so that's where our mind is right now. That's where the team is as far as our want to. And now it's about figuring out how we get these wins, pull these off. But the main focus is the main thing, and that's just getting one win after another. And so the next one up is the Raiders. It's huge. These conference games are huge. And the reason why they're so big is because they count as two. We already have one up on them. And so it's trying to make it, a sweep. So for us, this week is a huge one going against the Raiders. And then we have, to get those dudes that's at the top right now, and that's the Broncos. And for us, we're focused, preparing, and making sure that we, treat every game like it's a playoff game right now. And, it's tough to beat any division rival for sure. But it's all about, focusing on the details, because when you play a team back-to-back as many times as you do, especially in your conference, it's like they know your tendencies, we know theirs. So it's about keeping it fresh, making sure whatever they show us is something that we can adapt to and we can continue to show them new looks. And so we're prepared. We face some great quarterbacks in our conference, and right now our defense is looking to get back on the track based off our last game. We just felt like that wasn't our best. And so right now, moving into the next week, we're trying to show the whole conference what we're about moving into the playoffs. All right, y'all, let's switch gears. Let's talk about that boy Jahmyr Gibbs out there in Detroit. He was hooping this week, and he had definitely had to play the week, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure in all of you guys' opinion. But outside of him having to play the week, the man had 15 carries, 219 rushing yards, 11 receptions, 45 reception yards, and 3 touchdowns. Snapping. Just the best way to put it is, boy special. It's something that he does day in and day out. Every game I see him, he finds a way to make a play. And for me, I think he's special just due to the vision, the quick twitch, the sudden movements that he has. Man, he's one heck of a player. And I know he's an offensive threat, somebody you got a game plan for, somebody who would definitely be on our board as a key player to stop. And, he proves it. He definitely proved it, and he proved it this week again. You got to be able to have the angles, man. That's boy Gibbs, hell of a play. Like I said, backfield, get the ball. Not only is the play pretty much disrupted in the backfield, but he has the vision, makes the cut. Then he gets upfield, and it's all him from there. That's one heck of a play. So let me see. Let's say Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown put Gibbs in second place by himself for the second most touchdowns by a player under the age of 24. He has 44 touchdowns. Barry Sanders holds the record with 47. To have your name next to greatness like that, he definitely doing something right. Yeah, so shout out that boy Gibbs and that OT play. When the game when you the player and they need you and you go out there. I think that was the first play from scrimmage right there. On the 1st and 10, game on the line. Nasty work. But speaking of that play, let's look and see what happened. Let's break it down a little bit. From the perspective that I'm going to go ahead and look at the linebacker's perspective. I'm a dime a wheel linebacker, so I'm usually on the outside of most formations. But right now, looking at how they playing, I'm looking at a single high safety right here. Single high safety. I think the first thing that quarterbacks try to do, whether it's run or pass or man zone ID, see what the defense is giving them. Right now, me being a linebacker, I'm looking at a single high safety, rotation, the other safety right here. I know that's Javon Holland, my dog. He a baller. He's rotated real low, so I'm knowing it got to be single high. For him to drop from that low, that'd be crazy. But looking at these corners, you got the corner playing off about, that look about 7 yards. So I'm going to say, yeah, they definitely going single high, which means that they can play both pass and run. This is a great run and pass defense right here. So I would think this is the right call as far as the defense go. Just looking at this Will backer, that's where I would be. The reason he's bossed over to the center of the formation is because the rotation is down to the left and they have a trip set right here. The offense has a trip set. So when they load the offense to their left, that's why the defense shifts over a little bit so they can be over there ready for anything like a sweep, a toss. And with Jahmyr Gibbs, that's always a threat. He's so fast. Getting him to the outside is an advantage for any offense, especially Detroit. So I can see that's why the defense is loaded to the left. So if you see the bodies, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all loaded just like they do. 1, 2, 3, and then add the running back, that's 4. It's about counting and keeping the balance of the defense to balance the offense. So that's just a little pre-snap read right there for you. Let's get into it a little bit. Okay, right there. You see that motion. Why do you motion a receiver closer to the box? High alert for run. High alert for run. You want to add another body. You want to get some protection. You want to make sure that they can open more gaps. It's a numbers game. You want to get them in the box. You want to get them in the block. And that's an elite receiver right there. Armor raw. Motioning in to go block. Doing the dirty work. A lot of guys in this league, receivers, the high paid ones, don't do the dirty work. So respect to that man for motioning into that box. When you a linebacker, one of your number one keys is outside in. You read that tight end. You read the triangle, so to speak. You read the tight end, that tackle, and it goes to the backfield. That's where you get your run pass read from. This is the triangle. So right here, I'm looking at a run pass read. For the safety, this is interesting right here. And the reason why I say it's interesting is because the safety, Javon, it looks like he's blitzing. It looks like he's going on a pressure, or edge pressure. Let me see right here. Yeah, it looks like he's going on an edge pressure right here. That's interesting, which would put them in sort of a fire zone right here. A fire zone, for instance. If you send pressure off the edge, that will make this man a flat player, this man a 3 player, and this man a flat player. So you got 3 dudes. It's pretty much 3 under, 3 deep pretty much, and you send in pressure. So now you got 5 rushers up front. You got 5 rushers up front. It should cover all gaps. Honestly, it should cover all gaps. But seeing what Gibbs did, it did not cover all gaps. Boom, he found a way. Now, I'm not the Giants coach, so I'm going to steer clear of trying to be too much of a critic, because football is football, and at the end of the day, whatever happens on that field is between the man and the man in front of him. So it looks like this edge right here is doing the work in the backfield, doing real damage, but Gibbs makes the play. He makes the play. He sees it. He sees him in the backfield, makes a cut. That's just amazing right there. That's amazing. That's where you got to give credit to the running back right there. This is him making a play. This play should be stopped. That's dominance right there by that edge. He makes that cut. He gets upfield, finds a lane. And right here, no man's land right here. And what I mean by that is anybody play to make, and that goes for the defense. That goes for the defense. That goes for the offense. And I mean, when I say the offense, the running back, and that goes for the safety. What it comes down to is this man right here. This is a play he has to make for his team right here. It's just you and him. It's nothing but space and opportunity, as some will say in the streets. It's nothing but space and opportunity. He comes down. This is one mano y mano. Let's see what happens. Speed happens. That's what happens. You get a man like that, all this open space, all he has to do is run away from you. Now, it's no shot at this safety. That's one hell of a player for sure. But Jahmyr as well is a hell of a player. So like I said, it's man versus man. And the fastest man won this battle right here. I will say the only thing I think that he could have done as a safety in this situation is probably attack the line of scrimmage faster, get a run-pass read a little bit better. But, I mean, this is a hell of a talent right here. But I've seen 24 make a lot of plays in this league, so no doubt he'll get that shot again. He'll make something happen. Shout out Gibbs, man. This is one hell of a play. And like I said, in the clutch, 1st and 10, put the ball in his hands. He'll make a play. But speaking of the Lions, though, in general, man, that's one heck of a team. Seeing that they are not in the playoff picture right now is shocking. But that just shows how much firepower is over there in the NFC right now. But one hell of a team. Not only is Dan Campbell a hell of a coach, but just the staff that he's assembled around him has proven to be true. Losing coaches in the offseason, but still being able to put up the numbers and have the team perform as they do. They're not out of it. They're not out of it. Respect to the players that they got. A tandem in that backfield, one heck of a duo of running backs, a heck of a receiving core. And I could talk about their offensive line all day, and golf, of course. But, man, that's a hell of a team. And I respect to the Giants as well. They put up a hell of a fight, a hell of an effort. That was a good game overall. But it's a tight race over there in the NFC. And I wouldn't count out the Lions. Not yet, man. Not yet. I wouldn't count out anybody over there just due to the fact that we got so much season left. You know what I'm saying? But shout out them guys. Enough with that offensive talk. Let's talk about a defense performance, not only by a single player, but by the whole defensive team, that side of the ball. Them Texans, man. Them Texans went against not only a good offense, but a great quarterback in Josh Allen, and they got to him good, man. 8 sacks. They went crazy. 2 interceptions, 3 turnovers, 19 points allowed. I mean, that is something that a defensive coordinator dreams about, man. That's just one heck of a game plan, not only by the coach, but executed by the players. Shout out them boys out there. And not only am I looking at, well, we all looking at this right now. Look at them. That comes down to effort. That comes down to angles. That comes down to hustle and want to right there. I'm looking at them boys swarming in that red. It's a good thing to see. As a defensive player, I can respect any team, no matter whether they're going against me or we're going against them. I can respect any team that's playing good defense, man. I live by it. I play defense, so I am one of those who preaches defense to win championships and the offense sell tickets. I preach that. But shout out them boys over there. Will Anderson, he went crazy. Danielle Hunter went crazy. Kalen Bullock, a dog back there. I seen both interceptions and I seen the forced fumble. The man's a ball hawk, as they would say. So I think that defense was booming. And Josh Allen, just was the MVP. So seeing him out there, I know he got a little frustrated, but what it comes down to is good defense can beat good offense for sure. But respect to them boys. Respect to that coach, D'Amico Ryan. He put a hell of a scheme together, and they executed that thing right there for sure. It's like I said, I appreciate good defensive play. All right, talking about it, let's get into it, though. Let's see a couple of these. We had a couple sacks going on. Let's see who got this one right here. All right, first play, let's talk about, is this Will Anderson right here? Let's see. Man standing up looking like he ready to go get it. That's what I like to see. I like that stance, that stand-up stance. It just shows that it could be anything. Speed to power, one arm, a nice little swipe move. You ain't no telling what's coming out of that stance. But understand that Will Anderson has a bag, and I know he can get into it. Let's see what happens. Boom. Okay. Speed to power. One hand, get off me. Dog work. And let's talk about this. You going against the left tackle, that ain't no slouch. Yeah, that's Dawkins, that ain't no slouch. That's a dog right there. Known for stopping some of the best pass rushers in the game. So mad respect to not only him, but you know what I'm saying, just shows how improved of a player Will Anderson is. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. It's looking like we got press man down at the bottom. Yeah, 13. It's looking like man right now. When you put your defense in man, let me tell you something. When you put your defensive man, you're saying that your pass rush can get there. You believe in the dominance of your pass rush. You know that our DBs can hold their receivers long enough for our defensive line to go make that play. And I think that's what you see right here. The middle is completely shot right here. These two D tackles right here are working. He's going with a double, but mind you, I'm looking at that right guard. He's looking at Danielle Hunter. So he's only there temporarily because he's trying to make sure he can help the center as well as the tackle on the right side of him. He has the single block right here, which means he get to go both ways. But because of this scheme, like I said, because of this scheme, it gave Will Anderson a single block. When you look in that pass rush scheme, you always want to get your best rushers a single block. It lets them work, lets them cook, go in that bag a little bit. Right here, though, what I'm looking at is that little shimmy right here. This is called speed to power right here. You get off the line, quick burst. You give that little stutter right here. So you go boom, speed. When you do that little shimmy right there, that's you going into power. When you speed, that shocks the tackle. Basically makes them get out faster, thinking that you're going to outrun them on the edge. This is what the tackle thought he was going to do. When you give him the shimmy, it then slows him down to where he's off balance, he's on his heels, and you can power through him. That's what that was right there. That's why we call it speed to power. You give him that shimmy, put him on his heels, boom, straight through his chest, all the way to the QB. Because even though it's a single block by Will Anderson, he does the work. It's all connected. Everything is connected. What did I just tell you about this guard right here? He's waiting to help his tackle. But if he never gets to his tackle, that pressure that Danielle Hunter is putting on Josh, he ends up in his face. Josh feels that. He's a QB with amazing pocket awareness. He feels that. It makes him step up, but when you step up and you have nowhere to go, you're looking for escape routes, you can't go too deep in the pocket. It gives Will Anderson the opportunity to peel off inside and get that sack. That right there is team effort right there. Beautiful play by the defensive line, Danielle Hunter, and incorporated and everybody involved. Will Anderson for sure. All right, so right here, Danielle Hunter, two elite pass rushers on the field at the same time, a QB's nightmare. He's up, shake a little bit, boom. That's the thing, man. When you are elite at your job, not only does it make you somebody to be feared, but it also makes you a target. So respect to Dawkins, they probably was going at bro, switching off just to get him on his heels. All right, let's look at this play. Boom, boom. Ooh, I got to show love to them D tackles, man. Them D tackles is funneling all the work inside and making the QB panic. Because when that pocket condenses, and right now it looks pretty wide open. It looks like he has a million lanes. But that's the thing about pass rushing. You always know where he could possibly go. That rhymes. Bar. Come on, go ahead. Write that down. So right here, he looks like he's stepping up into the pocket. And it looks like he has a million options. But because Danielle Hunter is up top and he has his arm free, you always rush to keep one arm free. It gives him the ability to spin out the block. And I know, like I said earlier, Josh Allen has great pocket awareness. He feels that. He circles away. Not only is he getting closed in by two, he's trying to work back to the opposite side of the field, but that's the speed. That's speed right there. He doesn't make it. Now, if he did make it, he would probably have an out. Not only would he have a pass right here to the running back, but Will Anderson, he let go the edge. Since Will went inside, there's a great chance that Josh Allen, being the talent that he is, could make it back this way. But since we're talking about talent, Danielle Hunter, he has it all right here on this play. Boom. Backfield. TFL. Sack. And you got a swarming linebacker right there. So if it wasn't going to be him, it definitely would have been somebody else. Like I said earlier, man, this defense was swarming all day. Look at all that red around that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dudes closer to the opposite quarterback than the offensive line. That's a tough day. That's a tough thing for any quarterback to handle, but it's more so about what the defense was doing than what the offense was doing on these plays. So just talking about that defense right there, are they a top 5 defense? Much respect to those guys. I think for sure they have the talent to be a top 5 defense, if not already right now. I'm not one of those guys who check the stats, but I would definitely say they up there. They up there, especially with that performance right there and how they just got on Josh Allen. I definitely say they're a top 5 defense. Just thinking about top 5 defense, I'm going to definitely put the Chargers up there because I'm on that defense and I know how much we prepare for every team and what we can do. And then not only that, I definitely say much respect to Green Bay Packers, the Rams, for sure, the Broncos. I think I want to say the Ravens have been up there these past few weeks. The Ravens have made a lot of turnaround in what they doing. And then I would say my last would probably be, it's a tough one. I would say the Eagles. The only reason I'm confused is because the last game, like so much stuff is changing. Like the last game then versus Dallas, I really thought that was supposed to be an easy dub, as far as how they played in the first few quarters. I'm thinking like they already had it sold up. But, just long term, how they've been playing, though, they have been a top 5 defense in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and go with them for sure. Now it's time for Better Deal segment, where I'm choosing between one of two scenarios: a late fourth quarter interception or a late fourth quarter sack. For me personally, hitting somebody is like the momentum shift at any point in the game. But to get a sack at the end of a game in a clutch, crucial situation, I think that's what I'm going to go with. So the fourth quarter sack, I think that's the situation that I'm going to have to choose, because not only is it momentum shift, but it means so much when you can get a sack on your side of the 30, 40. It's all about field advantage and where you put the ball. So I think that's a big momentum shift. And it takes me back, man. I had a crucial sack earlier in the season. First game actually in Brazil, so that was lit. Against Patrick Mahomes. Respect to the talent that he is. Respect to the team that he has. But just having that moment where it was a do or die situation, getting them off the field, making sure that they were in our territory, protecting the end zone is something that we have to be prideful about as a defense. And so for me to get that sack, it was huge. Momentum, the fans, so many people knew nothing about football, but they was cheering for that play. So that's what I'm saying. Momentum, man. Shout out Brazil. Shout out the Chargers. And that was one heck of a play. I remember like it was yesterday. QB spy. I'm off to the left side of the center. We know after just studying film that Mahomes was a QB that would like to scramble through the B gap. So we opened up the B gap on purpose so I would be able to wrap. So it was like a bait and switch. I was baiting him, hoping he would go through the B gap. He did. I had to trust my speed. He's one heck of an elusive guy when he's breaking the pocket. I had to trust my speed, trust my angle, and make the play. Play got made. We talk about it today. History. And right now, speaking of defense performances and dominant players in this league, let's talk about one of the most dominant players as of today, Myles Garrett. And look at what he's been doing, man. Look at that last game against the Raiders right now, man. He's been dominant. 4 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 TFLs, 2 forced fumbles. The man is on fire, not only in this time that we are in, but in all of history, man. I've been seeing all types of stuff about the records he's been breaking, and not only breaking, the ones he's been making. So shout out to that boy Myles Garrett and what he's got going on right now. He's cooking. He's 100% cooking. And if I'm not mistaken, the man is at 18 sacks right now. And I think the record is 22 and a half, if not. And who holds that? Strahan. I think Strahan got to watch out for that one, because Myles is cooking, and he has 6 more weeks to get that done. So shout out to Myles Garrett for sure. He's a dominant player in this league right now, in the league as it stands in history. Just let's take a look at that last game right there, please. He was going off. I think he's had multiple 4-sack games this season alone, and he's not stopping. I don't see him stopping anytime soon. Then just talking about this year and the possibility of him being a DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year, I think he's up there. I think, in my opinion, he's probably has the highest chances, just due to the fact that he's making history right now. And I mean, who loves more history than the NFL itself. You know, we love people who touch the record books, and so just looking at him and all the things he's been doing so far, I mean, the biggest thing about it is the consistency. Doing it one season is one thing, but to continue to do it throughout your career is why he differs from a lot of players, man. He is dominating season after season after season. You can stack days, you can stack plays, you can stack seasons. That's when you know you're on your way to do some great things. And I could say a lot of things about Myles Garrett. He's not my teammate, and I could still praise him. But amazing dude. He's separating himself from the rest for sure. And then let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. You look at Myles Garrett dominating on the defensive side of the ball, and then you give that boy Shedeur Sanders a shot to go make plays on the offensive side of the ball. And just looking at him and what he was able to do in his first start, very impressive by him, man. Very impressive. 11 for 20, 209 passing yards, 1 touchdown. And I mean, just overall dominance and winning the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to, is being able to win as a QB in this league is hard. And that's, I mean, the Browns haven't been winning this year. So for him to come out first start, which I've heard has not been really a thing known for Browns QBs to win in their first start, so him being one of the first to do it isn't truly impressive thing, no matter who the opponent was. I feel like respect to him and what he was able to do out there. I did watch the game, and I seen one hell of a throw. Rolling to his right, pressure on him, lays it out. I wish the receiver would have stayed up, man, and rolled into the end zone for sure. Just respect for the game, because it was a hell of a play. But I just got mad respect for him to withstand all the battles and triumph at the end. I mean, it's not over for him. The journey's just beginning, but so far he hasn't had it easy, and that's something that you gotta respect. He comes in, it's not what he thought it would be, but then he's motivated to make it what he wants it to be, and I think that's right there is a story in itself. So wishing him nothing but the best, except for when he plays the Chargers, obviously. And then speaking of quarterbacks, me being a linebacker and seeing the other side of it, I want to give a little shout out to the guys who need a little bit more shine. I feel like it's quarterbacks that, you know, have a lot of respect in the game, but I think the outside people don't see it as much as we do because they're not involved as we are. But just thinking about some right now that I can rattle off the top of my head, I would say one, Justin Herbert. No brainer. Yes, I'm biased. But also, I do see the work that the man puts in. I see the arm talent that he has. I see everything that he does from Monday to Sunday. And, I mean, it's a reason why he's on this list. And I just hate the fact that it's underrated because he deserves to be higher. And much respect to him. He knows how to make the plays when it's time to make the plays. So, much respect to Jay Herbo. All love. I would say number 2, Jordan Love. I mean, young talent and been booming. If you just look at the plays that he make, I want to say his command of his offense is one of the more impressive things that I see from just watching film of him. Jordan Love is a guy who can make every throw, but also doesn't have a problem getting dirty and getting downfield. So just that dog mentality. All of these quarterbacks that I'm naming, I think they have that dog mentality. And so I will get into that. Going from dog mentality, I'm going to go into number 3. I'm going to say Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Just looking at his mic'd up just this last game where he told his team, like, nobody coming to save us. I think that deserves a lot of praise. That leadership, I think that's something that a QB has to have, and I think majority of them have that. But just also his command of the offense as well. He is able to make the checks, make all the calls. He's one of those more veteran QBs in the league right now. And the league is really young, so Jay Goff being a veteran in this league, when you approach QBs like that, you got to respect their know for the game. Number 4, I would say Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams for sure. The reason I'm going to say Caleb Williams is because what he's doing this season with this Bears team is, I mean, we kind of expected him to be the season he got drafted because we felt like he had all the weapons there. But what he's doing right now is showing why he was picked to where he was. And if you look at a Caleb Williams, like just one game, you're going to see 5 highlights that a QB just don't do on a regular Sunday. His scramble to throw is like no other. And then, I mean, just his pocket awareness is definitely of the upper the upper class. So just respect to him in his game. And then I would say 5, I would probably go with Cam Ward. The reason I'm going to put Cam Ward right here is because I feel like his talent is so, it pops off the screen for sure. If you watch his games and how he play, the talent just pops off the screen. He has the ability to make every throw. His decision making is progressing, is getting better as the season goes. Right now, it just comes down to being better in the pocket, and then I'm no QB, so I can't really coach you, but just being better in the pocket. I think once he gets all that down and squared, he's gonna be one of the best QBs in this league for years to come. I mean, the guy is a dog. So much respect to him for sure. Those are my 5 most underrated, but I think that all 5 of these guys can easily be top 5 QBs in this league. I mean, if not today, tomorrow, and so forth. Before I go, let me hand off this one to Nick Bonito. I do have a question for you, though, before I go. We both just had bye weeks. On my bye week, I chilled, got with the fam. What did you do for your bye week? Or what do you do for bye weeks? That's it for BR Handoff, presented by Verizon.